Order, the RGVMPO. Roll call.
Cameron County,
Present.
Hidalgo County,
Present.
Starr County, City of Brownsville, City of McAllen, City of Edinburgh, City of Mission, City of Harlingen, City of FAR, City of San Benito, Cameron County RMA, Hidalgo County RMA, Valley Metro, Textile Fire District, LRGV DC, and RGV Partnership. Okay, we've met quorum.
All right. Any public comments?
I just want to make one brief comment,
Go right ahead.
Chairman, just for the sake of everybody knowing, last Thursday, leaving our offices, Gloria had a pretty significant car accident,
Oh, that's
right
what
behind
happened.
Edinburgh City Hall. She's fine.
Okay.
But it has, none of us are getting any younger. She was in her little convertible sports car. A gentleman turned into her. She's got some bruises and that. So we apologize at some of the delay on getting the packet out on Friday. All of a sudden we were trying to fill her shoes and it's not the easiest thing to do. But I just wanted to let you know so we continue to give her good well wishes and positive thoughts. And hopefully she'll be back at the office soon, feeling much better than she is today.
Please send her our regards, and our prayers are with her. Hopefully she recovers quickly and completely.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, consent agenda, approval of the December 15, 2021 minutes. Are there any changes or corrections? If not, we have a motion to approve by Pete. Second by Mario Cañas. All in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Item 2, discussion and action on the fiscal year 2023 to 2026 TIP text document.
That'll be Rudy, sir.
Rudy?
Yes, good afternoon, board members. So included in the packet for today is the text portion of the comprehensive TIP for fiscal years 23 to 26. Timeline for the creation of the remainder of the 23 to 26 TIP is also included within the packet. This draft of the text portion went amongst the TAC members for review and approval, and it was also presented here to policy board members for review as well. So today we're seeking action on this portion of the comprehensive TIP, and we will conclude with the remaining supporting documentation, including both highway and transit TIP tables, with the remainder of the creation of the 23 to 26 TIP document. If there are any questions, be happy to address those at this time.
Any questions? All right, if there being no questions, is there a motion? Motion to approve by Pete. Second by Commissioner. All in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Item 3, discussion and action on the FY 2021 to 2024 TIP and 2045 MTP amendment, February 2022 revisions.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. So these revisions and administrative modifications were submitted to RGVMPO staff. We worked them into both the highway and transit TIP tables. This is the last revision cycle for this TIP, which covers years 21 to 24. So everything was considered and worked in that was submitted. This went to the TAC for review and approval as well, and was also previously presented to policy board for review. So today we're asking for approval of these administrative changes and revisions. Upon any questions or concerns that may need to be addressed, the summary sheet was included in the packet as well as the actual TIP tables for both transit and highway projects. So be happy to address any concerns at this time.
Any questions, comments? All right, if not, is there a motion? Motion to approve by, I'm sorry. Thank you. Need a second? Second by Mayor San Benito. All in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, members.
Item 4, discussion and on the congestion study RFP.
Yes, sir. I just had a pigeonhole on this item for any feedback or comments we may have received during the request for proposals. We haven't received any questions, so I have no update.
Okay. No need for action, correct?
No, sir.
Item 5, discussion and updates on the annual bike ped program. Eva?
Good afternoon. Can you put the presentation on? Sorry. Thank you. So of course, my name is Eva Garcia. I'm the Bike Ped Program Coordinator here at the MPO. I wanted to start with the annual update about what we've been working on as a group here through the MPO. What you see before you are the 3 key principles and supporting goals that were adopted in December 2020 through the Active Transportation Plan. It has led the work of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. You see the list here of the active members and the different public agencies, nonprofits that are involved. I have been doing surveys through the advisory committee to see how they feel about the work we've been doing. And so far, overall, they are very satisfied with the experience, the topics, quality of information, knowledge, et cetera, communications. And so we have a big work plan ahead of us. We've devised some working groups for different initiatives. And so I'm going to go through, hopefully as quick as Rudy has been, through this presentation. But what you see before you are some ribbon cuttings in Harlingen, Brownsville, and McAllen for the RGVB cycle program. This is an older slide of rider trips through different stations and how active they are. I just want to show you that this data does exist as far as how membership sales are doing, how much is being sold, what those price ranges are. The last BPAC got an update on ridership and the program itself. We, questioned the group and asked them how they felt about everything overall. It's mostly satisfied or neither satisfied or dissatisfied. We asked BPAC members, would they support an expansion of the bike share program? And the majority said yes. At this point, I do want to note, though, through the current program and with a potential expansion, I think that there would be more need for capacity for managing customer service calls, addressing needs, and just handling overall the program. Dedicating more staff to that would be a future benefit, something to plan for. As far as the bicycle and pedestrian counter data, what you're seeing here is a table of the planning and design initiatives, how this came directly out of our active transportation plan. We are implementing this plan. Some funding was identified. We were able to fund 18 counters. The picture here is a Texas Transportation Institute training the municipalities and program partners how to install these counters. So you can see that it's going through Ecovisio. That data is being quality checked and uploaded to the state's Texas Bicycle and Pedestrian Count Exchange program. And so that's now active if you want to look at data up through December 7th since the installation of those counters. We asked the BPAC members how they felt overall about the implementation of the program. They're very satisfied. As far as supporting the expansion of the program, majority also very much supported this. And I know it's an interest of the state to continue monitoring trail usage. For the active transportation facility inventory, again, this was another initiative identified through the active plan. It's a predecessor, to sort of speak, to a regional data portal that we could potentially have online, showing where parking is, restrooms are. We asked, how do organizations currently manage or track this information? Can they maintain or update it annually? The majority said yes. They collect that data through different sources. We're asking now is what standards do we want to set for this facility inventory? What data do we want to collect? This condition of the sidewalk, the type of facility, signage present, et cetera, network amenities, identifying all those. So again, this is something that we're going to be undertaking and developing for more comprehensive data. The RGB Traffic Safety Initiatives is another grant-funded program. The objectives are to distribute 2,725 bike helmets, 5,000 bike lights, to administer 2 hybrid trainings for law enforcement officers and 2 trainings for project managers. Again, law enforcement training was identified in the plan, as was developing design standards. And so having some trainings focused in safety would be a great start for developing those standards. And we were asking the committee members, what topics do their community want to see based on the areas of concern. And so that's a lot of the initiatives that we've undertaken in 2021 and what we plan to do with 2022. I continue to ask, what are your priorities as far as different initiatives that are recommended in the plan? And so we're following what the community, the region, and the active members are asking for. One thing that wasn't in the plan is the United States Bicycle Route System. This is the United States National Corridor Plan. And so it's also in the Texas Bicycle Tourism Trails Study. It would be part, obviously, of a larger initiative. Cameron County has identified a route to implement, and we're looking at Hidalgo County as well to consider what routes might be a United States bicycle route designation. So we're working through that with the state. Last but not least is the Transportation Alternative Set Aside funding. And so you've seen this flow chart before about how the process works from programming to obligation of the funds. In 2021, last year, we did program $2,293,000. And overall, the satisfaction was, everyone was satisfied with the program call, except with the scoring criteria and the project presentations. And so we're looking and asking, for 2023, 2024, our next program call, how can we improve the scoring criteria? A lot of people said leave things as is, but we are going to be looking at the evaluation method and consider, changing how the scoring is done. The other question we asked is, would the municipalities or the BPAC members support more than 10% of available TASA funds for planning projects? And the majority said yes. And I just put that in there because I think it'd be good to have more shovel-ready projects that have been well studied, so that project development is easier. So I think there's a little bit of glitch with between my PowerPoint and this computer's PowerPoint, but I'm just going to go through the different maps and project locations of what we have active. So the FAR Wellness Plan, the McAllen Vision Zero Plan, Donna Sidewalks, those are all from 2017, 2018. And then for Hidalgo County, we're pending the AFA for the mobility plan. The McAllen Jackson Road hike and bike trail is going through an AFA amendment. Tri-City, to Brownsville to Los Fresnos connection projects, moving along Los Fresnos High School North Park connection, Olmito sidewalks through Cameron County, Las Palmas sidewalks through Cameron County, and then UTRGV's hike and bike trail and bike racks. And then, of course, the new 6 funded TASA projects are all going through AFA execution. And so you have Elsa, Hidalgo, Edinburgh, Harlingen, Brownsville, and Port Isabel all going through that same process. And that is the end of my presentation. You also had another chart in your packet with the different projects. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Hey, I think it would be good for the record if you would comment on the projects that we are looking at meeting.
Sorry.
Their deadline. They won't lapse.
Right.
We're looking at that lapse timeline. Can you briefly, just so we have that?
Sure. So for all projects that were awarded in 2017, 2018 that have not obligated their funds yet is the FAR Pedestrian Safety Wellness Plan, McAllen Vision Zero Planning Study, and the Donna Sidewalk Project. The 2 plans, I believe, it's a procurement, federal procurement plan thing, and so they should be moving forward now. And then the Donna Sidewalk Project is just pending the railroad agreement, to my understanding. But because those projects were awarded in 2017, 2018, those are the most in need of obligating their funds already.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions, comments? All right, thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to jump to item 6, RGVMPO Executive Director's Report and Update.
Yes, sir. Have no financial update this month. We have not received an update from finance yet. They've had to be in and out of the office dealing with COVID, of course, as well. So I'll be sure to catch the board up on all of that next month. We would like to say thank you to everyone who came and attended the open house. I thought that was incredibly successful. It was nice to have you mingle and put faces with names, as well as seeing the facility there in Edinburgh. And we will still work on something in Brownsville in the near-term future to try to do something similar there. So we really appreciate it. On your areas, you should have, of course, new labeled RGVMPO hand sanitizer and lapel pins. So please take those, wear them with pride, we hope. We were glad to be able to finally get that done. On the tip timeline that Rudy discussed, just so you're familiar and for the sake of your staff who may be here or listening as well, we did send out an email, Rudy did, letting everybody know that they had till February 28th for the 23-26 development of the tip to submit full-blown project status reports to the MPO. And you may or may not recall, but we have a form that we now send out. We also have it electronically at the policy board approved maybe a year and a half ago. And that is the form we're asking them to provide us an update. We're asking for an update on every project that they have. So we're going through a full blown. And the reason that that's so important is so that we can look and make sure to align our funding goals and see where we are in the way of funding and what the requests are for funding on the projects. And we also want to go through the scoring. The policy board has provided guidance and approved a scoring mechanism. We're not going to re-rank or move any projects that don't ask to be moved, but we want to be able to provide the information back to the policy board on how well your project is not scoring. That may be within the tip years and how that reflects the other projects that will be in the UTP years. So the policy board can make a decision if those are truly the best projects to move forward. So we'll be providing that to the policy board along with all the information. February 28th is so that we can execute our public involvement and bringing it to the advisory committee and policy board for discussions. And at the same time, TXDOT-TPMP in Austin will be doing a review process of the projects that we're submitting as well to make sure that we're accurate with our termini, our funding source, letting projections, and that information. So we'll be going through a twofold exercise simultaneously, and I think that's a really good exercise to save us all some time so that we don't get into the situation like we had last year where Federal Highways wouldn't approve the tip, and then we sort of ended up on a 1-year hiatus from any updates that we were able to do. So we're looking forward to that. And
Just to follow up with that.
sure.
I think it is imperative that we all understand the importance of reform. Decisions are being made as to the project health, if you will. Things like, for example, right-of-way, which has been a hot topic for the last several months. We will be making decisions on the next side of the house as far as allocations for right-of-way based on the health of these projects. So it's imperative that each entity update their form so that the MPO and TechDOT have the latest information.
Andrew, I just want to clarify, did I hear you state that we're not going to move any projects? In your,
Staff won't. We'll be bringing it to the advisory committee and policy board for recommendation.
that's what I wanted to clarify, because at the end of the day, staff is presenting the information. This policy board has an obligation to the communities, if you will, to ensure that the most healthy projects that are shovel ready move forward. We got to be utilizing the funding that's allocated for us. And if projects that are stagnant are just there taking up space, everything's fiscally constrained. It's always about the money, right? So let's make sure that these projects continue to move forward. The most healthy, the ready-to-let projects should go to the top of the list. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Pete.
And my final update would be a friendly reminder for those of you who haven't, who may be interested. The transportation forum is taking place in San Antonio, February 6th to the 8th. That is a Sunday part day until Tuesday part day, and then we'll be coming back. All the staff will be going at this point to attend, assuring that everyone stays healthy and everything. And I know that they're following the protocols up there, and that's going to be at the Grand Hyatt. That is available for you to do online registration. And of course, just as your director, I strongly suggest that everybody try to attempt to attend these forums if you can, and the timeline will allow, because it's a good opportunity to meet a lot of the administration with TxDOT, as well as we generally have 1 or 2 of the commissioners from the TxDOT Commission that are present. And we're provided a pretty good program on updates through the process with moving projects forward and how it's going to come out. And I'm certain that we'll probably get an update after the new transportation bill of how some of the financial is looking and how that may be distributed out. So if you can attend, we certainly would love to see your faces there. And if there's anything we can do, please let us know as staff, since we will be going and attending. We'll be in San Antonio. With that, Chairman, unless there's any questions, that's all the update I have for today.
Anybody have any questions? All right, status report, TxDOT project status report.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen on the board. I'm Mr. Garcia, and I'll be presenting the Hidalgo County construction project update for the month of January 2022. I'm here to present the US 83 Relief Route Phase 1. The limits of this project are from 0.85 miles east of FM 886 to FM 2221 out of Chinas. The scope of this project is the new location expressway facility. The contractor is Anderson Columbia. The project right now is currently at 72% complete, and the estimated completion date is December 2022. This area is east of the project. This picture was shown here was taken looking west. This is a closer look at the same location. This shows the ongoing construction work of the main lanes, bridge deck, and bridge concrete rail. This area is the western connector of US 83. This picture was shown here was taken looking west. This is a closer look at the same location. This picture was shown the contractor working on the retaining walls and the earthwork to the connector. This is the same location looking down to the proposed Business 83, connecting to the proposed US 83 frontage road. The contractor is currently working on the earthwork for the proposed roads. This is also the same location under the westbound bridge connector. This shows the contractor working on the earthwork for the proposed Business 83. This area is located between the western connector and the east end of the project. The contractor is currently working on the final layer of asphalt for the proposed main lanes and frontage roads. And this is area is located at the western connector looking east of the project, and the contractor is working on the final layer of asphalt. And this is how it's looking at that point. And now Roberto Jimenez from the Submilitary Office will be presenting the Cameron County projects. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Roberto Jimenez. I'm from the San Benito area office. And today I bring to you project updates for two projects in Cameron County. First of all, we're going to start with 1732. The limits of this project run from US 281 to I-69. The scope of this project is the rehabilitation of the roadway. Currently, the contractor is working from Carmen Avenue to approximately Lago Vista. This is phase 4 of the project. The contractor is foremost paving, and the completion date is October 2022. The following picture illustrates the contractor working on the undersea of the roadway. The next picture, like I said, it's working on the seal coat, which is the undersea of the roadway on the south side. Like I said, it's phase 4 that runs from Carmen Avenue to Lago Vista Boulevard. Moving on, FM 802. This project is from 1847, also known as Paredes, to Old Port Isabel Road. The scope of this project is the construction of raised medians, roadway widening, and a final overlay. The project is in 71% completion and is estimated to be done in March 2022. Following picture illustrates sidewalks. Contractor is currently working on sidewalks and driveways throughout the project location. As well, the contractor is working on installing sound wall at 802. With this said, this concludes my presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Cameron County RMA. Pete.
Good afternoon, Judge, Policy Committee members. We actually have a pretty good report to start the new year. So our first slide is the Southport Connector Project. This project is pretty much complete. The remaining work is cleaned up by the contractor. So the Port of Brownsville is looking at dates in early February to do a ribbon cutting for this project. The Veterans Bridge Project, right now, we have a letting date that's tentative, waiting for final approval from TxDOT, but we're looking at March 29 for the letting date for this project. So we're moving forward to a construction on this particular project, and this is a DAP project, partnership between Cameron County and CBP, GSA, and other federal agencies. State Highway 53 Gap 2 project. This has a fiscal year 23 letting. We are just pending one issue with Union Pacific. We're hoping that we can work that out in the next couple of weeks. We did have a discussion with their engineer today, so we're hoping that we can get their final approval so that we can proceed. The plans are pretty close. The PSNE is pretty close to being 100%. The reevaluation on the environmental document will be done in the next couple of months. So while it is scheduled for a 23 letting, it's very possible that we can accelerate it to a 22 letting, but we'll work with TxDOT and the MPO on that. East Loop project, we're moving forward with local money on the PSNE. We should be ready by late March or early April to submit our 30% on the PSNE. Once we submit the 30%, then we'll go to 60, 90, 95, and 100. So this project will start to move pretty rapidly now. The environmental document as well, we're finalizing 2 or 3 reports that are needed, and we'll be submitting those to the FAR district. Flor de Mayo Bridge, we're pending a report from the Department of State on our application. So we're hoping to hear from the Department of State by the end of the month so that we can proceed accordingly. Morrison Road, we're waiting on a function classification. Old Alice Road, we have 100% PSNE that we submitted to TxDOT. We're pending the comments from TxDOT. We are in communication with the district office and our project manager. We lack 1 or 2 reports on the environmental side. So while, and I believe this is fully funded, but while the letting date on this one is for 2029, this perhaps can be a good pilot project for TxDOT's Rack 'em and Stack 'em program, because we believe that it will be ready to let by late this summer. So we'll continue to monitor the progress on this project, but it can be a good candidate for that type of project or just to accelerate it in general. FM 509, we should have a consultant on board by February to start doing the schematics, the PSNE. We're utilizing local money. So we want to advance the project to the construction phase because we do have funding for the construction of the project. SPI Second Access, we're working with our consultant, TxDOT Fish and Wildlife, to complete the scope. So we should be ready to go to our board with a work authorization so that the consultant can proceed and completing the environmental phase for the project. South Parallel Corridor Phase 2, this project was led in December. Just yesterday, Commissioner's Court approved the local match. It's a little bit over $2 million. I believe the check will be mailed to TxDOT. So from the county standpoint, we're ready to go. And I'm sure TxDOT and the contractor will be ready in the next couple of months. So Phase 3, the county continues to work on the acquisition of right-of-way. We're again utilizing local money for the project. So we're moving forward with the development of this project. US 201 connector, we should have a consultant on board by March so that we can proceed with project development. West Boulevard, we're looking at using local money to complete the schematics and then complete the PSNE for this project as well as the environmental. So we'll be working with TxDOT to see how we can advance the project utilizing local money for the PSNE. Whipple Road, we hit a little bit of a snag on this project. We've got some issues that we're addressing with TxDOT, and hopefully in the next 30 days or so, we can continue work on this project. And then the last slides are US 77. We continue to advocate to complete the US 77 corridor and bring it up to interstate standard. So this concludes my presentation, Judge.
Any questions? All right, thank you, Pete. Next, item C, Hidalgo County RMA.
Good afternoon, Director, staff, Chairman, excuse me. All right, On the HCRMA 365 project, we continue to work on bringing this project to fruition. As you recall, we conditionally let this project and awarded to Pullis Construction for approximately $296 million. To date, we have executed 2 change orders. Change order 1 was to enter into the VECP process, and change order 2 was to capture the actual VECP concepts. And in doing that, we were able to capture a gross savings of approximately $38 million and bring this project back to fruition, or bring it back to financeability. That is a word, financeability. And the bond sales have proceeded. We have posted the POS, and we priced tomorrow and hope to close out by February 10th. Thereafter, we will quickly begin bringing this project to a reality, and we plan on going and approaching every one of the local governments that have been impacted, having one-on-ones with them, holding the pre-construction meeting, and of course issuing NTP to the contractor and starting to turn dirt in early April. We have March up there, but there may be some conditional time to finish up the design on the VECP concepts that we're considering. So that may skip and move over to April in lieu of March. And we work on a 3.5-year project and hopefully open that up in 2025. Moving on to IBTC. We have captured all the environmental justices in coordination with TxDOT and the appropriate agencies. We are now collaborating on a public meeting date sometime in March or June of this year. We continue to gather archives and pertinent data, update the requirements, and look forward to procuring engineering services to bring this project to advancement. As far as the overweight corridor, it is slow. As you can see, we manage the overweight corridor in Hidalgo County. For the year of 2021, we issued approximately 39,273 overweight permits, totaling permit fees of $7,854,600, with the lion's share of that going to TxDOT for $6.7 million approximately, and that goes back into reconstruction and funding of the overweight corridors themselves and maintaining the existing infrastructure. As far as overweight permits for the month, we came in a little over what we did last year. There was 40 more permits issued in December, with 2,587 permits issued. As far as interest rates and the construction economics, it was interesting to see when we started the year, we were at 2.1. We ended the year at approximately 8%, and that continues to climb at an unprecedented rate. And you can see the main culprits to that are concrete and its accomplices, which are aggregate, the cement, sand, and everything having to do with concrete. Asphalt did kick in later into the year, and but you can see the majority of that was in concrete, going up at 29.7% in 1 year. If that was a bond, that would be great, huh? All right, that concludes my report. Any questions, concerns? I can entertain at this time.
I don't know if you can answer this, but on the permit that the lion's share goes to TxDOT, is there a formula as to how much of that gets returned to projects in Hidalgo?
85% of the total permit goes to
Why not
TxDOT.
just give, okay, yeah, but okay.
So 100% of that money goes to projects that are within the corridors.
Within the corridor?
Yes, sir.
Good. And I don't know if it's a word or not, but we understood what you meant. So.
I got questioned about it, or the legal questioned it, and they said, no, it is a word.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Regional Transit Metro.
Good afternoon, policy members. My name is John Bocanegra. I'm here in for Mario Delgado, our director of transit. He wasn't able to make it. I am not certain if we were able to get the latest Metro report up, but I do have the numbers here, I guess, which is the most important part. So we can start off with Brownsville Metro. B Metro had 77,881 riders, which is a 74% increase from this same time last year. So they're increasing their ridership quite a bit. Island Metro was the same. They had 24,057 riders, which was a 33% increase.
What's the time frame?
Oh, I'm sorry, November 21.
Okay.
November 2021. And Metro McAllen, we had 42,528 riders in November 2021, which was a 4% increase. And Valley Metro had 15,811 riders, which at the same time last year was, this is a 135% increase. So that makes November 2021, we had a total of 181,729 riders in all the systems across the Rio Grande Valley. I guess if you have any questions, please let me know.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 8, other business, old or new. Andrew, you have anything? No? All right, our next meeting is going to be February the 23rd at 1:30 p.m. here. Oh, no, I'm getting to it. Why do you think I'm here?
Oh.
All right, can I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion, second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries. We'll be going into executive session pursuant to personal matters, section 551.0741, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, disciplinary Meeting again is February 23rd, 2022, here at 1:30 p.m. There's no further action, now motion to adjourn. Pete, seconded by Mike. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.